All right, without further delays, hesitations, or any procrastinations, which I'm good at. I do plenty of procrastinating. It's our pleasure to finally bring to you the first episode, numero uno, of the Garden Bar Podcast. I'm Kit Adams, and this...
I'm Breno Joe.
Breno Joe.
And just to clarify, that is episode 1, for those that don't understand the Spanish there.
Yeah, a little bit of Spanish there for you. Mix it up a little bit, but it's basic level 1 Spanish. Hopefully it doesn't confuse too many people. But basically, we are introing what we done is we went to Beer Fest in Fremantle late last year. This has been a while coming now. And we've been planning to launch this Garden Bar podcast, and then the opportunity came up to be at Beer Fest, and it was an opportunity that we couldn't refuse, but we might not have been completely ready for.
Yeah, I think we were sort of like into the deep end straight away, which is, I guess, like you either sink or swim, right?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't really say that we sank or swam. I think we maybe still had our like kindergarten floaties on.
Yeah.
And we were just
like some doggy paddle going on.
We were keeping our head above water there.
Yeah.
And
I think that's what you got to do though. Sometimes you get worried about biting off more than you can chew, but my philosophy is just take a big bite and chew like crazy. And get through it, you know?
Well, that's right. Like, you either just talk about it or you just do it, right?
Yeah, that's it. So we did do it, and some of it because it wasn't this format where we're sitting in a garden bar. This garden bar is actually my place.
Well, this was the actual original plan, wasn't it?
This was the plan, and this was the original format. You'll notice that at Beer Fest we went more with the roaming mic sort of interviewing style, and there was a lot of background interference with noise and stuff like that, which we didn't really anticipate. So a lot of the interviews did get edited heavily due to noise pollution, and some got edited just due to the amount of interviews we got.
Probably the content, maybe as well.
Yeah, maybe some of the content.
There was a little bit too many drinks drank that day, so probably it's not the best viewership to hear. No,
that's all right. We've got to keep it real, you know?
Yeah,
so, yeah, it was pretty long. By the end of it, we had a lot of interviews that we got to do. Really appreciate everybody that stopped and took the time to have a chat with us. And a special shout out to one of the main organisers, James. You'll see a chat with him coming up later in the podcast. He was very accommodating when we reached out to him and said that we'd like to have a crack at this. So hopefully we've done it justice, but basically we're just warning you, it was our first crack, and there was a little bit of contention about whether or not we were even going to release this. Some of the audio was so bad.
I'm still contending.
Yeah. See, so, but I think it is important to get it out there, obviously, because I appreciate the fact that people took the time to chat to us. Also, it shows the journey as well. Like, you go back to anybody's first podcast, and it's pretty bad compared to what they're making in their more up-to-date ones. So, I thought it'd be nice to show the journey. And for me, it's become sort of like all the people that I feel like we didn't do justice to, that didn't get a good interview, I now want to track them down and give them a good interview in future episodes of the podcast. So
that's right. Like, you can't, you're always going to learn from what you do, and we've been pretty heavily self-reflective on what we've done. Even
highly self-critical.
Even just like camera etiquettes and stuff like that was just like we were. I don't know.
Not very self-aware, I think. But I think to say it was a learning curve would be an understatement. It was more of like a learning hairpin turn. Just like, whoa, there's some fast learning done quick. Anyway,
but it was. I must interject there. It was super fun though to be involved in the background.
So much fun.
Of an event. It was just like I kind of felt like. Like you're a rock star. We didn't have to do any work.
Like I said, James being super accommodating. We had full backstage access to talk to all the musicians, the comedians and stuff. You'll see a lot of this in the interviews we're about to show. But even though the quality of our first podcast isn't that great, the quality of the guests we had on for our first podcast, you don't see many podcasts with that sort of level of guests, we've got comedians like Jon Pinder and Andrew Wolfe and Gill Cordiner. We've got bands like End of Fashion and Great Gable, Joan and the Giants, and then a few other Musos, and of course a few of local brewers around WA. So we've got a lot of content that we've tried to squeeze in here. Some of the quality is not great, but go gentle on us. It's our first one, and I expect it to get better from here. Or at least you'd want to hope it gets better from here. Imagine if it got worse from here.
I'd almost like to say I don't know how that could be possible. But,
Surely not possible.
I don't know.
Anyway, let's go to our first clip, and that is us doing an interview, intro, not an interview, an intro to the Garden Bar podcast out the front of Beer Fest.
Let's go back in time.
Yeah.
Back in time.
Wait. Oh, hey. Hey, how you doing? We are here for the first of many Garden Bar podcasts. I'm Kid Adams and I'm Bruno Joe. And we thought what better place to kick off a Garden Bar podcast where we feature beer, foods, musicians and other various artists and comedians, but Beer Fest Fremantle.
Let's do it. Let's get into it.
For Beer Fest 2023, we're going to go and get these glasses filled with some fine craft beers and let you know all about it. So
We have not drank anything prior to this.
Yeah,
no, 100% sober.
Scouts honour.
Scouts honour. We're starting right now.
Let's go in. Let's get in there. Let's sort this out. Get in there. Let's go. Right, let's go.
Right, so which one do you want to hit first?
Right, so that was the interview out at the front of Beer Fest on our way in with a whole lot of ambition and not a great deal of capability at that moment in time.
That, I'm talking about a moment in time. That was the past, and now this is the present, but when we're going to be watching it, it'll be the past.
Yeah, it's like some sort of time loop.
Crazy.
But yeah, talking about being super critical and stuff, I like my hat.
Sorry, yes.
Like now looking back on the footage and seeing my hat and my choice of t-shirt and stuff like that, I was just like, things you wish you could go back and do different.
Yeah, I
was being sun safe though.
I think my hat's suitable for the beach, but
yeah, your bucket hat was alright. I went full just sun safety and great if I was out in the garden or something, but
I kind of liked it. I thought it was a vibe.
It was alright, yeah. I mean, I felt great in it. I don't know, maybe I'm just being overcritical of myself again. But anyway...
People don't want to keep on hearing it, so the whole podcast is just us whinging about
trashing ourselves. No, we actually did great.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's go to the first interview. It was with one of the brewers. It was George from Hogg Culture Brewing Co. Gave us a couple of pints and had a quick chat with us. So let's cut to that and give you a sample of some bad audio. But again...
It's good. Well, I'm pointing at the laptop, but you're going to press whatever you're doing. Yep. Okay.
They don't need to press anything. It's all going to flow smoothly for them.
Yeah, totally. So, we'll see them on the other side of this.
We'll see you on the other side of this. Very good.
All right, we've just stopped in at the Hogg Culture Brewing Co. marquee, and we're just having a chat with George. How you doing, George?
I'm great.
Cheers, George. Cheers, George.
Cheers, yeah.
Busy day down here at Beer Fest?
It has been, yeah.
Beautiful. You've just poured me a little sampler here. What am I drinking?
You're drinking English Summer Ale. We actually call Jester.
Yeah.
So it's actually with modern English hops.
Yeah.
And I believe that we are the first commercial brewery in Australia using them.
Yeah, right. Beautiful. Yeah. Oh, let me check it out. What's Breno drinking?
Exactly. Am I drinking the same?
No.
I'm drinking something different.
So you're drinking just our standard pale, American pale. So you just your typical easy drinking pale.
It is very easy drinking.
Yeah.
That was actually really nice. That was just like some mild fruity tones in it and stuff like that. A little bit of body to it, you know. So,
where are you guys based?
So we're based in Kalamunda, up in the hills.
Oh, right.
So we don't have a cellar door, so we can only sell to licensed venues.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are at Main Liquor and Fiat, like Kalamunda Tap House.
Yep.
We watch this space in about 12 months' time.
Yeah.
We shall have our own tap house somewhere near Bigby Valley.
So that means people will be able to come to you and get cartons.
Yep.
Beautiful. Well, hey, we need to ask the history. How did this come about?
Yeah. So you got Kieran is the founder with his father Chris. Their last name is Hogg.
Yeah. Right.
So
Hogg Culture.
Hogg Culture.
Yeah.
So it was founded in 2019, and it's probably last sooner 8 months.
Yeah.
Volume has increased.
Yeah.
So we're starting to get seen here and there.
Yeah.
So that's
How did you come on board then?
So I actually work during the week at Brewmart in Bayswater.
So you're all about alcohol. You know your beer.
Yeah. So they were having a couple of issues and they asked, can I one up, one brew day?
Yeah.
and haven't left since. So
there you go. Does it take long to settle on a brew that you're happy with? Lots of beer tasting involved, I imagine.
Well, you do, especially before this event started.
Yeah.
So we sat down a couple of days ago and went through the whole tap and drank some more, and after we decided, it's all good to go.
Yeah, right, beautiful.
So which one's your personal favourite?
The actual sour. The raspberry sour.
Raspberry sour.
Yeah, so
I had a sour earlier. Not a fan. I don't know about yours, but yeah. Sours are a little bit too sour.
That's right. I'll tell you what, this one, what was this one again, George?
that was the Summer Ale Jester.
The Jester,
this one
that's
is.
the one. That's a beautiful drop. What have we got there?
You've got the big boy.
Cheers to those guys.
Champion. Cheers, boys.
Thanks, George.
Thanks for
very much
talk
for
to us. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah.
So also early on day one for us filming, which was day 2 of Beer Fest. Beer Fest goes over the 3 days of the weekend.
Wouldn't that be technically? It would have been the first day because it starts on a night.
Ooh, got me on a technicality. Nice one. And the next guest that we interviewed was technically during the day shift of the Saturday, so it's the first day shift at Beer Fest, and it was Scott from Cappuccino Orchestra.
Oh, way complicating this. It was just
Stop making things difficult, bro.
It's day 2.
Yeah, day 2.
Yeah.
So day 1 on day 2, first day of us filming. You could chop this up so many different ways. Anyway, we were talking to Scott from Cappuccino Orchestra. Interesting guy. Interesting band lineup. Had a little bit of like saxophone, clarinet and stuff going on in there.
They're all young. I think they're all like below.
Yeah, I think his daughter joined in and stuff. I think he might talk about it in the interview. There's
Obviously,
also
yes.
a little bit of
Don't listen to me trying to
footage.
recollect. Yeah.
A little bit of footage of them playing as well, so you can see them on the stage. But
It's nice.
yeah. Interesting band lineup. Anyway, Scott from Cappuccino Orchestra. Check it out.
Scott here from Cappuccino Orchestra. How you doing, mate?
Good, mate.
You've just wrapped up your set for the day. Yep. I noticed that you've got an interesting band lineup. It's not your traditional 4 or 5 piece band, guitars and drums and stuff. It's a little bit of saxophone, a little bit of clarinet.
Yeah, a little bit of everything, bit of mandolin, you got brushes, 5 vocals, which I think is pretty unique. I don't know how often you see that.
Yeah, right.
Bit of harmonica as well, mandolin. Yeah,
definitely nice to mix it up. It's all right. You finished your set for the day, so you can get stuck into it.
I can definitely.
Oh, beautiful. And where did this whole journey start for you, playing Beer Fest gigs?
Oh, look, I'm in the hospitality game, knew the guys and most of the exhibitors, and found my way onto the set, and fortunately been able to be here pretty much since the beginning.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
What made you go down the path of probably more classical instruments involved in your band instead of the traditional sort of guitars and drum set?
Oh, look, I've been playing for a while. When we first started, it was something that the guy that mentored me really pushed.
Yeah.
You know, to really go back to the roots, lots of harmonies and, you know, keeping it really raw, clapping, finger, clicking and shakers and all that kind of stuff. And it's just good to do that every now and again and have a little bit of fun with it, for sure.
Yeah, nobody's really putting their effort into making an album that you listen to all the way through.
In today's age, man, like it's Spotify versus buying an album, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
So everybody just gets what they want on demand. They don't have to listen to the filler tracks. They just go straight to the thrillers.
But benefit. Sorry to interject, Scott.
That's all right.
Sorry. Benefit of that is you tell me about your band straight away.
Yeah.
Listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got its pros and its cons. Definitely easy to find, but sometimes you miss out on some little hidden nuggets, I think.
True, dude. Yeah.
Well, when I was younger, it was always about the B-side, especially for musos.
Yeah, right.
The musos always hunted down the B-sides.
Yeah.
We'd find the most crazy stuff, and I was at a John Stevens concert the other day, and every time I go see him, I request this ridiculous B-side that he did called Learning to Swim. It was almost like Patsy Bisco with an electric guitar, you know.
Yeah.
And he always has a laugh and hunts me down after.
Oh, really?
but I think it's good. I mean, because we've all got B-sides, and
100%.
bands don't. That's kind of how they learn their craft.
are the
by doing that
B-side.
stuff.
Yeah, I imagine a lot of artists would appreciate people requesting the B-side tracks that they don't get to play as often, you know?
Get a laugh out of it.
But there also might be
Yeah.
a reason why it's the B-side. because they might not like
true.
it. You know
but
what I mean?
You do hear about those bands sometimes that they get sick of playing their tracks. So it was like Reef with Place Your Hands, an Aussie band and stuff. They actually went on Hey Hey Saturday and trashed the set because they were requested to play that song. They played a completely different song. So no, that's cool, man. Getting the artists to play their B-sides, you know.
I reckon that's a funny way to go.
What about your B-sides?
Absolutely.
My B-sides?
Yeah.
I played them today. I played it today.
Well, what are you drinking, Ashton, before we go to the next guest?
Raunchy lager.
Raunchy lager.
Should we talk about this on the thing?
Isn't that what we're doing?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Raunchy lager, and you'll actually see coming up soon why in this first episode we are featuring Raunchy Brewing Co. and also Billy Stitch Distilleries. We've chosen to feature them in the first podcast. We'll get back to that later, but for now, great job. It's actually a really nice beer, Raunchy Lager, and Billy Stitch Gins, man. Really nice.
They've just released these and I hadn't actually tried them yet. So
somewhat, yeah. They've got some great ones, and this was actually the bottle of it, which I made some cocktails with at home with some crushed ice.
responsibly, I hope.
Responsibly?
Yeah.
Always promote responsible drinking. We should
It's true.
actually get the drug and alcohol hotline number so we can promote that as well.
It's going across screen as we speak.
I'll definitely make that happen, surely.
Yeah.
That's actually good. I can edit that in afterwards. But anyway,
Hands doing that.
yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to track your thumb, but I'll make something happen along the lines. I've been teaching myself to edit in making this as well, because
I'll do hands everywhere, so then maybe you
the
can...
editing process was highly underestimated, and I've had to basically teach myself how to edit to get this to where it is. So again, go easy on us. I'm very tender. But anyway, on day 2, we also spoke to Carus Thompson, who's just a solo muso doing his thing on stage. Stopped to have a bit of a chat with us afterwards. We had to pull him behind a bit of a sea container because, again, background noise.
I think the wind was whipping through at this point, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Being
bit of a
Fremantle,
reoccurring
the
theme in
doctor-
a lot of these interviews is going to be background noise from bands that are playing in the background and also wind as well. So yeah, anyway, check this one out. Carus Thompson.
We're here with Carus. You've just wrapped up your set, mate. Nice set. How do you feel it went?
That was great.
Yeah.
Sun, beer, people enjoy music. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, man. Here at Beer Fest. You played many Beer Fest before?
I can't one in England before, but
really?
yeah.
That's not associated with you, is it?
No.
It's not associated with this Beer Fest?
No.
Oh, we thought they were reaching out there for a second, eh?
Wow, it's global.
No, that's cool.
Where did your journey start? You're a solo artist, you had to take a couple of guitars up on stage, and it's pretty basic and stripped back, just you and a couple of guitars, man.
Yeah. I'm from Fremantle, so I'm born here. And then I guess my solo thing, I just, I've always had bands, but and my sort of albums are done with bands. But I did an album called Acoustic of the Norfolk 20 years ago. I did like a tour of that this year, 20-year anniversary tour, and that was recorded in the basement of the Norfolk.
At the Norfolk Hotel.
And that was acoustic, and that was the kind of thing that kind of broke me. And I've always kind of kept the solo thing because I've done a lot of touring in Europe, so
So you were never part of bands or anything?
I've got bands, yeah. My new album's with a band, and I played with a band last week, but I've always had that ability to play solo, and you kind of have to unless you've got enough money to take a band with you around. So it's always been backpack, guitar, and it's always about the songs and the connection, and sometimes a band can actually get in the way of that when you're trying to connect with an audience.
Alright, still on day 1 of filming, we got to stop by and chat to Tom from the Shelter Brewing Co. Do you remember that? We were a few beers in at that point.
Yeah, I remember it. Jeez, like I was like... I'm just trying to think of where they're based. Are they Bustleton?
I'm not sure, but you could definitely find that out.
I should
Again,
really know
I
that
might put
information.
something like that on the screen.
It's probably in this next video.
I'm not sure, he might mention it during the interview. So we'll cut to that. The Shelter had a massive stool set up. They had a wood fire pizza oven and the tinny bar. And then
Not a
the
titty bar,
seagull
tinny
game.
bar.
Yeah. Right. You can see how people would make that mistake. So here it is. Tom from Shelter Brewing Co. Having a bit of a chat with him.
Stopped by a Shelter marquee.
I don't know why I'm showing that because it doesn't say Shelter at all.
But it is Shelter beer.
It's a beer.
It is Shelter beer that we do have right here. Tommy, what are we drinking?
So this is our latest limited release. It's the Colab with Hillsies. I'm wearing the merch. It's the Hillsies Hazy T-shirt. So that's just the brief for that one was just a beer you can drink all summer long in the heat in beer gardens.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. A nice clean beer.
It's just a super clean, 4.2%. It's very, very cliche term, very smashable, hazy pale ale, and it's delicious. And it's very that today. And it absolutely passes the 4-pack test, which is you can easily drink a 4-pack without even thinking about it.
Yeah, right. That's an interesting one. First I've heard that 4-pack test.
Yeah.
What's Breno drinking there?
What have I got? You've ended up with the XBA, which is our mid-strength option, so it's 3.5%. So glad to get. And it's not too far shy of this one, but it's 3.5%, and it is full flavoured and mid-strength. So we're very proud of how this beer's turned out because it's held onto that big hoppy punch, and it's got very hop-forward XBA while still coming in at a very sensible when you're drinking all day in the sun in an event like this. You can. I love it how I always agree with people. They talk about the hops and shit. I'm like, oh mate. Yeah. What can I say? Why did I say that you're nailing it, bro? I'm like, this is me critiquing myself. I'm like, it's a nice drop. He's more of a gin drinker. He doesn't appreciate the beers the way I do. But no, definitely a nice drop.
Where can people find this?
Fun dress. I mean, so the Hillsies Hazy is in all good bottle shops. I shouldn't say that, might annoy some people, but it's in a lot of good bottle shops.
It's in all good bottle shops. So tell us a little bit about your marquee you got set up today as well. You've got pizzas going on, you've got the taps going on. I know it's a bit of a game going on the side.
Well, we've obviously got the big venue down in Busselton, so we've got a couple of legendary chefs up making pizzas. The pizzas down there are awesome wood-fired pizzas, and they are bloody hell. They're working hard, and that pizza oven looks very hot. They've done a lot of pizzas.
It's already a hot day, and they're working next door pizza.
They've made a lot of pizzas today, so kudos to them, and I hope everyone that eats a pizza enjoys it. Yeah. And this is our faithful tinny bar. It's been around.
The old tinny bar.
It's a tinny bar, but it doesn't sell tins. It is a tinny. I heard that way in the wrong way just then.
Yeah, we should
sing the seagull. Yeah, do you want to play with us?
Oh, it's a seagull. Come on, Tommy, let's go. Let me grab my hat.
We've
got coasters from before.
Are we audio recording?
Yeah, we're still recording.
All right, and so after we had that chat with Tom, you'll see we were on our way to have a crack at the seagulls. We should actually talk about this after because then people could see our seagull attempts. Let's cut to the seagull attempts because they were throwing seagulls into an esky to try and win a Yeti. What's a Yeti?
Oh, it was a Yeti esky.
Yeah, it is the Yeti esky.
But I think it was like a pack. I think you got like the esky, maybe a carton.
Right. And if you throw the seagull into the esky, then you get a raffle ticket.
Yeah, you got one, didn't you?
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's check the footage and find out.
Come on then, show us how it's done first, mate.
Do it for the followers.
Come on, Breno.
You have to have a beer in your hand.
Yeah, it's one of the rules. You should have a breatho here and make sure that everybody blows at least 0.05 before they play.
Yeah, that's it. They get the rebound.
Yeah.
Alright, so where's our marker? Down here?
Yeah. Where do you have to throw from?
Kids go down there and I don't
He still missed it. He still missed it.
Camera call that. But clearly down here by the side.
Yeah, right. I can't believe you just missed that.
Dude, I fucking cheated.
Alright, let's do it legit. You think it's from behind the bucket, correct?
Yeah.
What's that? From behind the bucket?
Yeah, we'll move the bucket back a bit for the experts.
Yeah! Straight away you see me and think this guy's easily an expert seagull thrower. Ready? Oh! That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey. Come back.
I even cheated and didn't even get like it in there. That's just
You ran forward, man, and then you were too busy, I think, looking back as you threw it. But no, that was hilarious. And then they bumped me back, and I nailed it first shot. So, but of course, we weren't there to win Yetis.
I think I took like several shots, didn't I? Yeah. Oh, well. Anyway,
but yeah, the boys from Shelter putting together a good marquee and stall there, a little bit of fun for the punters. So that was great, and also a nice drop. So
it was very tasty. Like I think during the earlier times of the day, it was easy to remember when something was quite standoutish.
Yeah. Shelter was good at that. Up next, we actually had one of the comedians, Jon Pinder. This because we went into the comedy marquee, the audio's not too bad. We were still using that little shotgun mic, so it's not great. But this is probably one of the better interviews as far as audio goes. And then, of course, Jon Pinder's hilarious as well. We had a good chat with him, and he slipped in a couple of pro tips that you will get only on the Garden Bar podcast.
Only here. Hopefully. Sure.
Maybe. I don't know. I suppose I'd like to think it's an exclusive, but I can't guarantee that. So
No.
Anyway, here it is, Jon Pinder.
Have in between sets managed to pull aside Jon Pinder, the MC who is running the comedy set here at Beer Fest.
Yeah, that's right. All the shows, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the shows, shouting.
Yeah.
Because the thing is with these as well, it starts out, especially in the daytime, people are not.
Nah,
They don't just come and sit here. You have
start
to
talking when you've got half a dozen people in chairs and you try and muster a crowd in.
Yeah, I go to the end of the tent and I just start screaming at people to pay attention to me.
Yeah,
it's like a
it's
metaphor
the
for
crowd
my
work
life.
and stuff, you know. Is there much in sort of, you see a lot of comedians will sit down and work on their jokes and write them out, but you doing this, you're just doing a lot of on-the-spot crowd work and stuff.
Yeah.
Is there much in refining that art?
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, a lot of crowd work. This is one of those things that will spoil comedy for you, really. It's a lot of crowd
behind
work.
the scenes of comedy.
Yeah. It's one of those illusions. Is sometimes the thing that seemed really off the cuff. You've said it before. Especially the ones that are really smooth and really quick.
Yeah,
that got a reaction. I need to say that again.
Yeah,
I mean,
you need to say it in the same way. You need to learn how to say things off the cuff that you've said over and over.
To keep the magic alive, to be fair, sometimes in fact, most of the time, if there's like some witty retort or something like that, one day the comedy gods just handed you that line in the moment, and it worked. But then you go, I'm keeping that.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you use
just
it again, and people go, you just made it all up all at once. It was perfect, you know, but it was,
is it comedy genius?
Yeah. But you've done it before. Even if it's something where it was like, you say something by mistake, you correct it.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, I'll remember to fuck that up again next time.
Yeah,
say that wrong again.
Yeah. And make it seem like it was in the moment.
Yeah.
100%. So what about as we were saying, like on the fly, like when you get like someone, like a heckler.
Yeah.
How over time have you sort of adapted to that?
Do you know, I think based on, because I'm like a real people pleaser, I've never been the Jimmy Carr, let's fucking ruin him in front of everyone.
Yeah, right.
You know, and he does that. He goes, let's fucking destroy this person now.
Yeah.
And I just don't have that sort of.
So you kill him with love, rather.
I will lead them on.
Yeah.
If you let, because 9 out of 10 hecklers is real stupid person.
They'll make
generally, not the highest in intelligence. Every now and then you'll get a real witty one, but most of them are peanuts.
Yeah.
And if you let them come to you, eventually they'll say something dumb enough that
they'll trip over.
Yeah. Whereas, like new comedians, I always tell new comedians, don't feel like whenever a heckler says something, you have to have something ready for them. Don't invite conversation, because it won't be long. Till they make a knob of themselves.
Until they run out of shit to say.
If you call them out, that's embarrassing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, sorry.
Yeah. That's a thing.
I'm sorry. I'll let you run the show.
That's actually quite wise, that, because one of the classic. This is a pro tip. This. If you're going to do comedy, if you get heckled,
all the pro tips on here on the Garden Bar podcast.
That's right. Make them. It's a good trick. This, if you just started comedy, if you get heckled, make them repeat what they said.
Yeah.
It don't sound as good the next time.
No. Yeah.
So even if their heckle is a banger, and you're like, ooh, that's fucking.
Give them a little sorry I didn't catch that.
Yes, exactly. If you give them that, and they have to say it again. It's lost all its like.
And then you do it to them again. Sorry.
Do it again.
You need to speak up.
Yeah.
I think it's funny in the moment,
right? You'll get like even really successful comedians, your Carl Barons and people like that.
Yeah.
Just repeating what they said in the tone that they said it, will get the laugh.
Yeah, right.
And it takes all the authority out of what they've done. It's such a cheap thing to do. It's such a cheap trick. But if they go, "Hey, why aren't you fucking doing that?" and you go, "Hey, why aren't you fucking doing that?" it just somehow gets it. So the audience laugh.
Gets the crowd back on your side straight away, and all you've done is repeat what they've said.
You've done nothing clever. You're just like, it's like.
I mean, you seem so at home on stage, like really relaxed and comfortable with it. Have you done it all your life?
No, I've been doing it since.
Actually, that's what I was going to ask. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it since I did 2011, 2012.
Oh shit!
And I had a break for a bit, and then 2018 I came back at it, like proper.
Yeah.
And I've done it since then.
Yeah, cool.
But I feel comfortable on stage in as much as I'm comfortable anywhere. It's kind of like, I suppose like fellas say they get pre-match nerves, like if they're playing footy and stuff like that. Right. I wouldn't know, obviously, I'm no kind of athlete. Don't know if you've gathered that
this physique?
Surely.
This is athlete material here, guys.
Surely he's in the UFC.
It's an animal.
Yeah, I think it's like that pre-game jitters, like pre-gig.
You still get some of that?
I hate that time.
Oh, right.
Until my name's called. Yeah,
yeah.
It's awful. I don't know what it is. It's just this sort of pressure building thing.
It's the internal thing, right?
Yeah.
And then what, as soon as you get on stage and say your first line...
that's when the adrenaline gets released, so you're sort of in then, and you've not really got time to think about anything. That's the moment you kick the ball in the air, and from then on, you're just trying to keep it up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have time to worry about how you feel about it.
If you start introspecting about your life at that point, that's going to be a bad show.
It's really going to break you down quick.
You're there like, do you know, I don't know why I'm doing this. This is awful. you know?
That would actually be classic. I'd love it. But how do you test material? How do you know like what you think is hilarious? Do you have people that get sick of hearing you try jokes on them and stuff?
Yeah, that'll be my lovely wife over there.
Shout out to your wife.
Yeah. She could probably recite to you all of my stuff.
So do you want to do that
over and over and over?
She could do your set for you.
In fact, most of the Perth comedy scene, I've seen her mouthing along to their sets. She knows them that well.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like the people go, they think it's fresh as you were going back before, but you've tried and tested it because you've got it, right?
Yeah.
You can't just throw it out there and go, I think that's hilarious, and then they're like, "Ooh, that's actually offensive." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that'll happen. That'll happen every now and then as well, because you never know where the line.
Offensive can be funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like. Comedy's always going to go there because I think comedy, you're meant to test those boundaries. Yeah, there's always going to be that time where you sort of overstep the mark a little bit.
You don't know until you've tried.
That's it.
And that's true because that goalpost is always changing as well.
100%.
The culture changes, the kind of joke that it is changes, different world events happen and things like that, so what might have worked one week suddenly don't work again another week.
It was a weird time. But how did that affect, like, minus potentially giving you guys
material? It was an absolute bummer. We were doing gigs on Zoom.
Oh, what?
Oh, it was awful, man. I remember
did you have to do
Zoom.
gigs like 1.5 meters apart and stuff?
At one point we did. We had
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they cut down the capacity, and we were doing. I think our first gig back was in somebody's house. Venues weren't opening yet, and there was this lady who had a big house, northern suburbs. Said, I've got a big room upstairs, we could put a gig on, and we did, and it was one of the best gigs.
Epic. That's so cool. Me and
Andrew Wolfe had forgotten all our material, so we were just winging it. We were just improvising stuff. In fact, most of our new stuff came out of that. Yeah, we were just trying to make it happen. And because it was in someone's house, there was a dog there. That always makes a gig better.
Right. So you things that you would think are a distraction from most shows are great for comedy. Yeah. That's gold.
Yeah, that was all right.
Do you know what? Like, I liked things about. I'm going to talk about some positive things with COVID and stuff like that. Like, I do like how quickly we kind of adapted the landscape. Like, as you're saying, like a person saw a need and they made it available. To, like, have like a thing. Like, you know, there was. I know, like maybe in comedy it didn't quite work. Maybe as like a live thing. But
the way they adapted was shut it down.
Bands did it like lives because if you didn't adapt, you die. And I think as humans we do need to adapt. Even Zoom. How do you do a gig on Zoom?
Dude, Zoom gigs were, they were awful.
Brutal.
I did one.
Yeah.
It was for a team of geologists.
Right.
Who were all working from home. I think there were maybe 50 of them or something like that. But the only person that kept their mic and camera on was the lady that booked me for it, and one guy who was in a kitchen making a pizza with his son.
No
So he was sort of making a
way.
pizza, and every now and then he'd look round at me, doing me silly little routine in my living room in my pajamas. And you're
That must be because, I mean, as a comedian, you rely on that sort of instant feedback from the crowd and stuff.
But it's
and
incredible. The two things that you don't consider are human needs that are, for comedians, attention, which makes you feel super pathetic. You're like, I can't believe I'm willing to do this.
Yeah.
To a load of like avatar silhouettes of heads. They're not even people.
It's not even
I don't know if I'm getting laughs or not. They're probably sat there being like, look at this dickhead.
How many did you have in attendance?
I think there was about 50 people on that, except nobody would put their camera. These are all
camera or
weird
mics.
Camera
so he's not
people.
getting any feedback from them.
Yeah, I'm talking to it. Yeah, it's monkeys.
A couple of people just go, he's a bit of alright.
Yeah.
He's a bit of alright.
Look, whatever. I got paid. If he enjoyed himself, that's what I'm doing.
Now, but where's the best? You obviously know all the good venues around sort of Perth and Freo.
Yeah, I'd say. Well, if you're doing Freo, it's got to be this gig's put on by the Fremantle Comedy Factory, and you absolutely cannot go past that room. It's great open mic room.
Yeah.
They usually have a pro MC who will thread the night together.
Yeah.
But you get all kinds of comics go to that. So you get newbies doing it for the first time. I would recommend, if you're going to do comedy for the first time, do it there, because it's always a great, like, supportive audience. Fremantle people are cool. They're relaxed.
I was going to say, we're hilarious. Let's do it.
Yeah,
sure.
You can go up there, you can eat a dick and nobody cares. Everybody I don't mean eat a dick.
No, not literally on stage, but comedy room.
I mean, they'll probably be into it.
That's hilarious. You would probably get some attention for that one. Absolutely.
Well,
people love it.
You get a good range of sort of comedy quality there, but it's always a good night. There's a sense of unity you get in Fremantle Comedy Factory, and Oasis as well.
Yeah.
I don't know, it brings people together, I think. They're always a decent night.
Part of being out at Beerfest is also, if you're going to have a drink, you've got to eat, because you've got to be a responsible drinker. So, even though this segment had really bad audio to start with, you can hear the band in the background sort of dies off and it comes a little bit good, then it goes bad again. I sort of really wanted to add it in just to sort of promote healthy and responsible drinking and having a feed while you're out at festival.
Also, because we really enjoyed the tacos.
Yeah, the tacos were really good, and it was actually tacos and tequila. And I actually thought that tequila was going to be in the tacos.
Yeah, it kind of was advertised like that because it was tequila, was it tequila taco? Yeah,
something like that. And for some reason, I was thinking like a tequila marinade or something on the meat. And then when he asked them, they sort of looked at me like I was a bit of an idiot. So that's fair enough. But no, still really good taco. It was more of you get a taco and then you have a shot of tequila or whatever. We had the tacos and they were great. And
we definitely did not need the tequila.
Yeah. As you will see in this clip, we pulled aside Stella, who ran Tommy Tacos. Check it out.
Outside Stella from the Taco and Tequila Brew Marquee. Tommy Tacos.
Tommy Tacos,
that's the one. Tell us a little bit about what's on offer at Tommy Tacos.
So we've got a few different types of tacos. We're kind of rotating through different meats. And then we've got watermelon margarita, Tommy margarita, and a pomegranate margarita.
Ooh, the margaritas as well. I just had the pork taco. Oh, that was actually really good. Some coriander in there and stuff.
Love coriander.
Love the coriander.
But I love it.
How was you had the bean one?
I had the bean.
Vegan option?
What was it, vegan?
Yeah.
It's vegan.
There you
I'm
go.
vegetarian, but I'm not averse to eating dairy, so,
Very good. But you are just only a couple of stalls away from the main stage. How's the music going for you?
Yeah, it's been really nice. It's been a good mix of different. We've got some acoustic artists sort of before. Last night they went into like a DJ later, so.
Discovery.
Tribute band.
What do you tell me, bro? I came out, I was just doing research last night for the podcast today, but some of the great acts on last night as well,
Alright, so, yes.
I mean, keep going.
Anyway, like I was about to say, Was I about to say it?
No, I'm not in your head, man.
Good point. Very good.
Very good.
One of the main reasons that I am featuring Raunchy now is not just because it's a great drink and I enjoy it. I see the sticker across there. Is because of this. Okay, as you can see, we only got about 5 seconds of interview there, and I'm not sure if it was a technical error or a human error, but I'd just like to say to Ian, we are really sorry for botching your interview, mate. That is why we are featuring Raunchy Lager Brewing Co. Raunchy Brewing Co. and the Raunchy Lager in our first episode, and we would also like to track you down and do an interview with you correctly, maybe at Sir Henry's, which is Raunchy's new venue up in Northbridge, I believe. This is the Raunchy Lager. They also have the Raunchy Heavy Diesel, which is like a pale ale.
Which is actually, I did drink a few of them.
That's the one I was actually drinking during the interview and really enjoyed it.
I kind of find it funny that he called like his pale ale the Heavy Diesel. I would have called my stout that, hey.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, the stout's the Sir Henry, because it's like a bit of an Irish sort of vibe.
Yeah, it was about a nightclub that he used to go to, which was Sir Henry.
Yeah, that's right. You remember a lot more than you let on. But yeah, Ian had some great stories, which was another reason why Devo that we didn't actually get this interview. There's a bit of history behind the Raunchy brand. And how he's transformed it into a brewing company, and then of course some of the history behind Sir Henry, like you've just mentioned and stuff. So that is why, like I said, we are featuring Raunchy Lager. Do yourself a favour, get out there and try it. It's actually good.
100%.
Get yourself a Raunchy Lager.
I was at Metro's the other night in Northbridge, watching a band, and they stock Raunchy.
Oh, beautiful!
So there you go. If you're in Northbridge at Metros. Metros?
It
might be Metros nowadays.
Metros. You gotta be careful, mate. WA's getting a bit of a name for itself.
I think it's also the lisp that I've got currently right now. Got braces.
I think lisp is an interesting word, eh? Like, it's actually hard to say lisp without sounding like you've got a lisp.
Can you say crisps without going
Crisps?
You can't, can you?
You can't.
No.
It's almost like one of those words that make your S's whistle.
Exactly.
Sometimes I do it when I get really angry with someone and I try and make my words too fast, my S's whistle. Anyway, I'm sure that's not going to happen now. The other drink that we are featuring, like we've already mentioned, is Billy Stitch. You are drinking some of the Billy gin tins. How's that going for you, mate?
It's pretty good. So like the 8%, which I didn't realise. I feel like I was kind of stitched up.
Yay! Well done, Breno.
Yeah, because
I feel like that wasn't even pre-planned, eh? Like just
no, it wasn't. I just
that's some of the best ones, mate. Some of the best ones. What's the flavour? It says summer gin.
Summer gin. I like how you bring it back. I take it out Wild West, and you're like,
you got to rein it back in. Sometimes,
you rein it back in. So it's the summer gin. I think what have you got in the front here? So
I think that's the bottle of it.
Yeah, so
I've actually enjoyed that over the last couple of weeks. I was going to fill it with water again for staging purposes, but it felt too not genuine, so I was just like, nah, because I drank it. That's why it's empty. It was really good, man. Put it on some crushed ice, couple of slices of lemon and lime in there. And then we just used a little bit of pub squash as a mixer. You could do it with a lot of things, lemon, lime, tonic water, or whatever, you know. So many options, but the way we done it, it basically just tasted like a solo. Oh, we had a little bit of mint in it as well, just for a little bit of a twist. Really nice, and just so many things you can do with it. You've really opened my eyes to gin, I've got to say. I thought it was like my mum's drink.
So did I, a few years ago. So, alright, trying to make a long story short. Was living in Japan.
You better, or I'll just edit it out anyway.
Living in Japan, tried it there.
Oh, right, got it. That was extremely short.
I'm not sure
you could have got much shorter.
No, so you tried the craft gin over there, and thought it was quite nice. Yeah. And just was like, then I got onto the cheap gin. Yeah. And now it's back to like quality gin. But yeah, honestly, this is like, as like I'm not going to say it's entry level, but an entry into the gin world. I think this is like high tier.
Absolutely. And again, with all the ingredients and stuff, I've actually heard other people, because I picked this up down at the local Rockingham market, and even the guide that was there was attesting to the fact that Dave, who we speak to in the interview you're about to see, he will never settle for second best ingredients. So it's all about being organic and stuff like that, and top shelf ingredients to make a gin that he's really happy with. But unfortunately, again, one of the reasons why we're featuring this is the audio in the interview wasn't great. We also had a bit of a streaker or a photo bomber. He had his clothes on, jumped inside, not really a streaker, but someone sort of interrupted their interview and stuff like that. So again, we'd love to catch up with Dave and maybe Steph again. You will see Dave and Steph in the interview. And hopefully get an opportunity to do them justice and give them the opportunity to talk about their journey with their gin, because they're having some great success internationally, and it's a local distillery that's making
it is
a really good quality gin.
It's made in the Kwinana industrial area.
Nice.
Yeah.
But not in an industrial warehouse? Or?
No, it's actually quite surprising. Technically, not like a big massive.
It's a distillery, so you would imagine there's some.
Well, the surprising thing is, I was expecting when I walked into the distillery to see this massive vat. Yeah. No, the vat you could probably put in your cupboard.
Yeah, I think he actually mentioned something about that. Dave said they're like 60-litre batches that they do, almost like micro batching.
Well, I guess then they cut it down, and I'm not even going to try and entertain the technical side of it.
But this is exactly why we need the opportunity to catch up with Dave and Steph again, and give them the opportunity to explain the process behind making their top quality gin that they do. But anyway, check out the interview. We'll be back soon.
And tell us about the journey behind Billy Stitch. You are local guys that started the distillery?
We started in Baldivis.
Right.
I actually say Rocco, guys.
In March this year, San Francisco World Spirit Awards was in April. Right. And after that, we kind of took off.
And how do you get into something like the World Spirit Awards? Do you nominate yourself?
Nominate myself, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Pay a lot of money. It was a big gamble for us. Yeah. But it kind of really paid off.
Yeah, walked away with some gold medals and stuff, so that's awesome, and getting recognised on an international level.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
And then when we were in America picking up the trophy, we had all these importers asking us, can you splice, and at the time I was still making gin in my backyard.
Right.
So I was like,
that's pretty good feedback. When if anybody wants a product that you create, you got to be like, I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
We've upgraded from the backyard now. So.
Just so you know, this is not backyard gin. This is proper distillery gin now.
It's no longer in the bathtub.
It's not a bootleg thing.
I'll actually see it. They're not as big as what you think. This is a funny thing. I had this illusion distilling alcohol in general was going to be big massive vats. They're probably smaller than this, right?
So at the moment we've only got 265 litres still.
So it's like micro batch.
Really? Right.
Nano batch.
And how often can you sort of turn them over?
So we run them every day, maybe twice a day.
Right.
The funny thing is, they label them themselves as well. So I was like, they've got this sort of conveyor belt thing to stick them.
Right. So you're thinking your full production line is
you're going these guys are going to have No, man. It is so DIY.
It's what gives it still the human touch,
Blood, sweat and tears. You might even get a bit of blood on the back of the label. You don't even know.
Literally, you can taste the blood, sweat and tears.
There's a reason it's red.
It's been great. Thanks for having a chat with us, guys. You've been a laugh. And wish you best with the rest of Beer Fest and all that randomness that you get.
Anyway, this is Mike Naya. I should check that out.
What did it say?
Mike Mayhem.
Oh, Mike Mayhem. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I was going to say Magic Mike, but he's like...
we hit him with Magic Mike,
No,
and
yeah.
he was more like Tragic Mike.
That's it.
He was actually awesome. This guy was the MC for Beer Fest. He introduced all the bands on the main stage, and was just like really cool guy. Running around backstage, taking care of all the bands, making sure everybody's happy and having a laugh and stuff, and
just a really down to earth, nice person. And it's funny how we're introducing him and he introduces us.
Yeah, he actually took the time because he had done such a good job of interviewing all the bands and stuff. We were like, Mike, you're a natural. Any chance we could get you to do a quick intro to the Garden Bar podcast for us, which we were lucky enough that he took the time to do. So here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, great to have you here. Right now, it is my genuine pleasure to present to you the Garden Bar Podcast right now with Breno and Kit. My name is Mike Mayhem, and I am not your host this evening. These two will be. So is it just Beerfest you do, or is there other places that people can see you MC? Oh, absolutely, yeah. In fact, you can always come down to the Voodoo Lounge every Wednesday and come and see me there. Voodoo Lounge! That's very good. Hey, can you put us on the door? Always. There is a standing invite for you two. Yeah, we should totally do a podcast with you. Definitely. We will look into that 100%. I like how reserved he was.
So that was Mike, who gave us an amazing introduction. And again, as you can hear, the audio was not great, so we'd love to catch up with Mike again. But we do have a standing invitation to the Voodoo Lounge anytime, so...
Yeah, I think we need to take that up for some reason.
Sure.
From a professional standpoint, I believe that...
it would be rude of us to turn down an invitation.
Yes. And it's a well-renowned... establishment that we
I've never been there, but it would be interesting. I wonder if they have a garden bar that we could do a podcast from.
100%.
Maybe I'll just take my bonsai in and just be like, that'll do. Just sit that next to us.
Maybe we need to have a random guest that goes with us all the time, like this Fern or something. You know?
Yeah, like I mentioned, we are just in my backyard at the moment. Being a Garden Bar podcast, we needed somewhere to do these intros from, so I just got to quickly shout out my wife. This isn't my gardening. I am not this much of a green thumb. This is my wife that's put together, not just this, I mean, most of our backyard looks like this. This is just
we're not in the jungle
for a backdrop.
We're just in his backyard.
Yeah, this is just a pallet wall that we put up, and she hangs a lot of her favourite plants off.
Do you know any of them?
This is a fishbone fern. That's a macho fern. That plant is variegated.
It's doing very well, people.
Yeah. What do you know, Breno? You have actually studied horticulture, so what can you tell us about this?
I should not have entered into that because I didn't actually specialise in this variety of plants. So I have no idea. I was hoping you'd say no. I don't know them, and then I'd be like...
I only know a few key words that are soaked in. You know how you sort of, when someone's around you smoking, you passively smoke? Because my wife gets a lot into her plants and horticulture, I've passively picked up a few key words here and there, and I'll drop them. She'll start talking about things, and I'll just be like, oh yeah, variegated and stuff, you know? And she'll be like, yeah, nice try.
Do you know what variegated means, but or what it is?
It's the difference in colour on the leaf.
Yeah,
so that's one I do actually know. So, but yeah, I'll talk about different plants like hydrangeas and acacias. I don't actually, probably couldn't pick those plants out of a lineup, but I've heard their names before.
So should the Garden Bar podcast be about
so in the garden today we are planting?
Well, I mean, it might help us throw a broader blanket over our demographic and maybe wrangle in a few horticulturists as well that don't mind a bit of a bevy and finding out what's going on with some local artists and comedians.
100%. Maybe that local artist or comedian or whatever or brewer is actually a horticulturalist. There you go.
Yes, see? I mean, people have multiple things, man. It's not like people do just one thing.
100%. You know.
Anyway, we should get on to the next interview. We've already got a lot to cram into this podcast. So let's get to it. After that, we spoke to Peter from Froth Brewing.
Exmouth based, I believe.
Yeah, they've started up in Exmouth. He was talking about his North Beach venue that they were planning on opening in a couple of weeks, which, with the delays we've had in getting this podcast out, I'm guessing is definitely open already. So make sure you go and check out the North Beach venue for Froth Brewing. But they've got some great beers on offer. We had a chance to talk to Peter about that. So
I think it was ginger beer I had. Absolutely.
Yeah, we were drinking the ginger beer at the time of this interview. So they had run out. Some of their beers were so popular they had sold out of them for Beer Fest. So anyway, let's cut to the interview and you can find out all about it.
So we've just stopped by Froth Brewing to talk to Peter. Tell us about your brew, mate.
Sweet. So we brought 12 beers down. One sold out completely, but that was the Stoned Over Hazy Pale. We have a hazy mid as well because the haze craze is strong, especially in this warmer weather. So haze craze. Yeah. What are you guys on? The ginger?
Yeah, ginger beer at the moment. A nice 3.5. We do have a few beers to get through, so it's nice to keep it reasonable. How did this brew come about?
A bit more spice and sweetness. Our Exmouth venue started in 2017. We were the first brewery between Perth and Broome. And now you've got Jurien Bay, Calbarry, outside of Gero, in Gero, and another one in Exmouth as well. But we always had Brookvale Union's ginger beer on. And that always went well for maybe the last, 5 years. And then we started a second brewery, much bigger facility down in Bunbury. And we started doing our own ginger. So we played around with that a bit, but we just wanted something that focused more on spice and sweetness.
It's nice, especially on these hot summer days, man. It's sort of really refreshing as well, you know?
Yeah, it just seems to run off.
A little slice of lime in there.
So fancy.
I've also got to compliment it because some ginger beer, alcohol stuff, I don't even know where I'm going with that, sorry, it gives me asthma. Like I have an allergic reaction. So that's how I test the ginger beer nowadays is, does it give me asthma? No? That's a tick.
Do I need my puffer?
Yeah. I don't need my puffer with this one, so that gets a tick of good.
Alright, am I looking for the first aid tent? No,
absolutely. So what's your flagship brew? What's your sort of number one, your OG brew?
So the two venues, their top 5 most popular ones off the taps are pretty much the same. So your lager is always going to be your most popular. Yeah. We are considering ousting that one actually to replace it with we did a Japanese rice lager as a collab with the Southwest Japan Festival, and it was super popular. Yeah, it came in at 4%, just so light and perfect. I mean, it's just that rice flavour. Really crisp and just not much to it. We called it Sakoshi, which means little in Japanese, and the head brewer's last name's Little. And that's kind of the beer. There's just not much to it. It just goes down and you just keep wanting more.
That's what you want as a beer, right? You want to be able to slam it down fast.
For your lager, but something a bit more flavourful than, so...
What percentage is that coming in?
That one's at 4.
So you're going to be pretty frothy by the end of that one.
It's not too bad. I've noticed that you've been pretty reasonable with some of your percentages, you know. There's things that you can sort of drink a few of without getting too shit-faced. But do you have any at the higher end of the percentage as well?
Yeah, sure. So we got a new Red Rye IPA on at the moment. That's 6.2. And we brought down our West Coast IPA, which is coming in at 7% as well. Our NEPA is, I think, the last batch was 7.7. That's over only the venues. Exmouth's got 21 different brews on tap that we brew in-house. And Exmouth's got 14. So
do you have venues closer to sort of the Perth metro area?
Funny you ask. So within a few weeks we're opening a tap house in North Beach, which we're really pumped for. So that's going to be
like we're going there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come down and check out the Bunbury one. That just won the AHA's Best New Venue Award last Monday night at Crown. Yeah, so stoked with that. Awesome team we've got there, and we're really proud of the venue. It's cool.
And are you brewing it there in-house?
Yeah, it's a 25 hex system down there, and Exmouth's much more humble with just a 500 litre.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
One of the comedians we got to speak to, it was late on day 2 of Beer Fest.
No, this is the first night, isn't it? Oh, day, sorry.
No, you're alright, never mind, brother.
Getting confused.
But talking to Gill Cordiner, one of the comedians, and again, it was really bad audio, so we've had to heavily cut this. Apologise to Gill so much. We would love the opportunity to catch up with you and have you on and do you justice and give you the interview that you deserve. And we really appreciate you taking the time. Unfortunately, the wind had started to pick up. There was a band playing behind us, and there was Andrew Wolfe actually on stage. You can see the comedy set in the background. So there was noise everywhere and wind. Basically, we only managed to catch a couple of sentences, and even those are rough. But we'll let you check it out.
How are you going with these festival shows? They're a different gig to being in like a comedy club where people come in and sit. You've really got to sort of muster people in.
Yeah, I
don't mind it. Like I like things that are different, and I like things that are a bit looser because the expectation's different. If people come to a comedy club and they pay $50, like they want it to be, you know, they want it to be slick. Whereas here, you can have a bit more. It's actually in some ways a lot more fun.
People a little bit looser and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think you are less up. It's not the audience, it's just kind of you in your head. Yeah. I'm not in a big club. I don't have to do a professional set. Well, you are doing a professional set, but you can have a bit of fun with it. So,
absolutely.
Talking about loose, did you prepare the, obviously, you tried the jokes out prior, right?
Yeah, like you write a new joke, so if you want to know the process of how you do it, I wrote a joke on Thursday, which was, do you want to hear the joke?
Yeah, sure.
The joke is, my daughter asks me if she can get pregnant having anal sex, and I say, absolutely you can, because I've been fucking an arsehole for 20 years, and I had 2 kids.
How long have you been tackling this for?
I've been a comedian for 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
That's relatively
new. I've been...
So you've been funny your whole life?
I've been funny my whole life because I didn't have big tits when I was young, and all my friends did, and when you went to parties, the girls with the big tits and shiny hair got all the attention, and the only way you could get it is be fucking funnier than them, because once they got bored with the big tits and the glossy hair, you were there making everyone laugh.
The last kept coming back.
And I found I was way more successful telling jokes.
So as you can hear there was a lot of noise in the background, and we'll show you why. So as you can see there, that was the crowd for Midnight Juggernauts, who were playing on the main stage, which was behind us. We were in between the main stage and the comedy stage while we were trying to interview Gill, so you can sort of understand why the audio wasn't great. But yeah, we definitely want to make it up to him. And straight after that, we had Andrew Wolfe on. And again, the band was still going in the background. The comedy stage had shut down behind him. He was the headliner for the night.
But the wind had seriously picked up on it.
Yeah, between the wind and the music in the background, and even Wolfie was mentioning how he was competing with Midnight Juggernauts while he was trying to give his comedy set. And it's not easy trying to do a comedy gig at a festival.
No, I can imagine not. And like the way the sound, they kind of went like that. The sound sort of like went into each other. It went sort of like away.
Yeah, and with the shotgun mic, we're only picking up 1 point of noise, and it's just everything coming in. So again, out of Wolfie, we only got a couple of sentences, but funny man, funny man, and like very wisdomous, almost like prophetic, like. He could prophesy stuff about. It's a very interesting insight into the way people think and work. But unfortunately, we didn't get all that. So we'd love the opportunity to catch up with Wolfie, give him a proper interview in a sort of sit-down situation like this, where we can actually have a decent chat. And check it out. Anyway, here's the interview. Here's what we got.
Wolf, how you doing, mate? Well, I just come off a big bomb, Beer Fest bomb. Opening joke, complete silence, and it's very rare to hear silence with DJs behind. I can still hear the silence.
I mean, it was Beer Fest is an interesting
even with the music playing, I could hear that it was silent.
Yeah, right.
Look at all these guys with the band going 1 metre away, and I hear dead silence. Just like,
right.
But the worst thing is I had done this gig 2 years before and had a breakdown. And run and shoved the guy off a chair. No! And there was a couple there going like, we saw that! We've come to see you again!
They want to see you shove the guy off a chair!
Opening joke, I go, I'll redeem myself. Opening joke, there's only guys laughing, and then that was it. Well, alright, I am very lucky that I got a day job, because I do not know how people can be full-time doing
What do you do as a day job? Get the fuck out of here!
Stock trader.
You're a madman!
I'm a stock trader.
Fucking hell, really shit!
You know what the thing is, I
don't trust you with that money to trade stocks.
In Australia, it blows my mind that you would admit that you're a comedian. You have to have a day job. I'm like, what do you mean, dude? Just be a checkout chick. You cannot tell friends that you're doing this shit full time.
Fucking hell,
that's equivalent of like a young girl setting up a fashion label. I'm like, it's deluded shit.
So do you reckon it's harder to come out to your parents and tell them you're going to be a comedian, or tell them you're going to be like, fucking, hey?
You're better off to show your parents 3 dead bodies in the
backyard. Day 3 of Beer Fest, this was the Sunday. We managed to pull aside James, one of the main event organisers, and he gave us a bit of a rundown on sort of where it all started and stuff like that. And really appreciate him stopping and taking the time to have a chat with us. I'd
just
like
really
to go back
appreciate
and do it again next year.
Would you? I was about to
Or
say,
this year?
just appreciate just him just allowing us to be there.
Yeah, like I said, it was a very sharp learning curve, and I feel like there's a lot of things that we could do better if we go back.
I can't believe how much freedom we had. There's no...
Yeah, it was really cool. So I would love to go back again and just do Beer Fest as a whole justice, and get interviews with better audio and showcase a little bit better. But yeah, anyway, here it is, the interview with James, one of the main event organisers.
2023, and we've managed to pull aside one of the main organisers, James. How you doing, James?
Good, mate. Good.
This has been a great festival so far. We're on the final day. How do you feel like it's gone?
Yeah, we're pumped. It's been really good. I think this is our 11th Freo Beer Fest, and I think it's been our best one. Just from the setup to the activations, because the stall holders get pretty competitive every year. Right. So they just add a little bit more and more to each stall. The weather's been amazing. The punters have been good. So everything's been on our side. So yeah, we're stoked. We're pretty busted. Yeah. But we've had a really great weekend.
Great week. How does a man like yourself end up in this gig, organiser of Beer Fest?
Yeah, funny actually how it all came about. So we started in 2011, and my business partner Stacey, she was running music festivals, and I was a publican that had 3 pubs, and this all started back in Tassie. And so we sort of joined forces before the craft beer scene is what it is. And so our first Beer Fest was an international sort of beer focus. There was only 6 craft breweries in Tassie, and then it grew from there. So then the next year we came to Freo. We joined forces with the West Australian Brewers Association. They only had about 6 members, and so we made it as part of the stallholder fee. You got a membership with Wobber, so instantly their membership grew to 50. So they grew and we grew, and then we went to Melbourne and Sydney.
I was going to say, this is like sort of national thing that goes all around Australia.
Yeah, that's right. So it was tough during COVID. We sort of downscaled a little bit, so but we still kept going during COVID. So we were lucky that we had.
How did you do a festival of beer when they weren't actually able to be there?
That's right. Well, it's funny. So I was based in Melbourne. Stacey, my business partner, was based in Queensland at the time. We couldn't get into WA, but we were able to still deliver the event. So really good contractors and crew here in WA. And we were lucky that our events were in Tassie and WA, and they weren't as affected by COVID as the others. So still managed to roll out events during COVID. We did 6 festivals during COVID, and it was really good. We worked closely with government on trying to deliver COVID-safe events, and they based a model off us for both WA, Tassie and Victoria, because we were one of the first major festivals to go ahead, but we didn't have much music going ahead, so it was really all about, we just turned the focus back into the craft beer and the foodies. So got good attendance, good numbers, and so I don't know how, I've lost count of how many beer fests we've done now over the last 10 years, but it's probably 50 plus around the country.
11 years going around the country,
but
that's awesome.
But I love it, it's a good job.
Oh, look out, you got some street performers coming past as well. All the entertainment and stuff. Awesome, guys. That's cool. I sort of lost track of what I was going to say now. But you are one of the main organisers. You mentioned your partner Stacey, but I imagine it's not just you 2 guys. Must be a lot of staff putting together an event like this.
We do. So Stacey and I, we started it 2011, and then we pretty much held on to the same crew. So we've got a full-time IT guy, Michael, that works behind the scenes. So he's been with us since the start. We've got another girl, Lisa, who's been with us the last few years. Kieran as well, that works with us too. So and then we just love, we've got all the same repeat contractors, so we always like to employ local everywhere we go.
Yeah, so, a few great local breweries.
Yeah. So I mean, this is pretty much WA all produce, so we've managed to keep it pretty strong WA focus. That's what we want to do.
How does it go from state to state as you're going around trying to find those local brewers? How does WA stand up with numbers?
WA is the best. I mean, WA really is. Yeah,
that's why you're not just saying what we want to hear, are you?
No. I think this is where, I mean, Little Creature's been around for 20 plus years now, and they're like the godfathers of the craft brewing industry. They really got this thing started. So it's great to have them on as presenting partners. And it's also, we love to support the little, up and coming breweries as well. This is an opportunity to, get over 10,000 people to the event on the weekend to their brand and help promote them, and we're bringing their target market straight to them, and then hopefully they can build up a sort of contact base from that. And
we're on the last day of 2023.
Yep.
How long do you start planning 2024?
We lock in a lot of the suppliers straight away. We have our date set, then we start looking for artists. So it's an all-round year gig. This one's launching our festival series. We're off to Canberra in 2 weeks, and then Launceston on New Year's Eve. Then we've got Geelong. Then we've got Melbourne. So
awesome.
you get any
sleep in?
Yeah. That's what I love about it. It's game on, but then you do get to rest a bit over winter. I've got a young family too, and get to spend time with them. But it's fun to see your planning and organising come to life as well. So when it's on paper, and then and
to be on the final day of another successful beer fest and stuff like that, mate. This has been a great gig, thanks heaps for stopping to talk to us. Where do people keep up with everything Beerfest is doing?
So just
on socials?
beerfestivals.com.au, or our Facebook page, Beerfest Australia, Instagram, Beerfest Australia, TikTok. We're starting to get on that.
Embracing the TikTok. Yeah, you got it these days.
So
people can check it out there and keep ahead of the dates of where you're going to be, and maybe follow you around the country.
On the last day of Beerfest, we also stopped by. It was a collaboration tent between Campus Brewing and Ink Cards. A couple of interesting guys, Amos and Wayne. You'll see them in the interview and stuff. Doing some cool stuff. Check it out.
Alright, we've just stopped in at the Campus Ink Cards Marquee Collaboration tent. We're talking to Amos and Wayne. Part of the deal is if you get a beer, you can also get one of the tattoos that they've made up, about 30 tattoos or something.
30 or so tattoos. 58 designs. There you go.
Yeah, beautiful. So it's beautiful.
You don't just get a tattoo with a beer, mate.
No, you still got to pay for the tattoo. You get a good deal on it.
You guys will be swamped. $7 tattoos all day.
Yeah, absolutely flat out.
Yeah, man.
But how did this collaboration come together, boys?
So Wayne's been my tattoo artist for 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah, at least.
And Wayne's been setting up this great little company called Ink Cards, where he goes to festivals, weddings, birthdays, sets up tattoo stations, and does this. So we actually work with Wayne at my local bowls club at North Perth Bowls Club, and it goes absolutely off. So we went, fuck it, let's do it at the beer festival.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful.
Yeah, been a lot of fun.
So you're the beer side of the collaboration?
Yeah, man. Beer walrus is what they call me, and my job for campus is to talk shit, drink beers, and make us look good.
Love it, man. Living the dream.
It's a tough gig.
How does one get into that as a line of work then? With all of those aspiring people to see you as their idol.
It really helps to be a generic white dude.
Yeah. So I have a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Good chance.
But I've been in the beer industry for about 10 years now. I've actually been working with this festival for over 10 years. Originally with Other Side, with Artisan, and a few other breweries as well.
So my next question is, did you start doing this with 0 tattoos, and then once you got into the festival thing, the tattoos came, or?
Well, I used to put more thought into my tattoos, that's for sure. And they're getting dumber and dumber, and I stopped caring as much. Just a bit of fun, Die young and leave a pretty corpse.
Do you have a place that you're not going to put a tattoo?
Probably my rectum,
I mean, we can sort it out. The canvas.
Anywhere is possible. And tell us, you've done a collaboration brew.
So we decided we'd make a beer to go with it. We figured it's a hot day. And we already said to Wayne and Yuri here, we said, well, what beer do you want to be drinking all weekend? Let's make it. He came to us with the idea of the watermelon mint and raspberry, and we were like, Fuck yeah, that sounds delicious. It really fucking is. I think, are you boys drinking it right now?
Yeah, we polished up one of those before. That was a nice job, mate. You're doing well. They've got names on them, probably for a reason, because there's a few of them going around. We're obviously at Beer Fest tattooing people. How do you go tattooing people that are getting half cut?
Well, that's a Wayne question. What do you reckon?
Yeah, dude. A lot of the time we just make sure people aren't too drunk, but everyone's here to make a good decision.
Fine that. Yeah. How do you go with the disclaimers and stuff when people wake up the next day?
Everyone's going to sign their paperwork. Yeah. You got full paperwork to sign out to get tattoos. And if you want to do anything particularly stupid, I've seen Wayne make people do video messages to make sure that it's it's definitely going to be something they're happy with.
That sounds like you've got some interesting tattoo requests.
What defines a video message tattoo?
I had a long-term client show up to a festival and asked me to freehand a penis onto him.
So you got a video recording of him saying?
Yeah, we did it.
Where was the location?
He got it on his bum.
Right.
Yeah, but I did it pretty detailed, so.
A few veins, few hands on there and stuff like that.
Definitely, mate.
And did he say why? Had he lost a bet or something?
No, it's just a bit of a loose unit, to be honest.
Yeah. Far out. You get some pretty loose units coming through here. What tattoo are you getting right now, Amos?
Alright, so I'm getting a matching tattoo with my good mate Travis. He's my DM.
Yeah.
He got A&T for Amos and Travis. I'm getting TNA for Travis and Amos. Also tits and ass, which is just as good.
Beautiful.
And then we're doing a little beer tinny because we figure we're going to talk about beer. Let's get a beer tinny.
Yeah, beautiful, man.
That's sick. I was going to say, like, it's such like an idea that is a great idea, but I haven't seen it happen too much. How did this come about?
I originally started doing this with a friend of mine at a different beer festival, and it just got busier and busier every year we did it.
Yeah.
And then they kind of asked us to show up to other places, and everywhere we went, it just kept getting busier.
Yeah.
And then Amos one day asked me to do it at Bowls Club, and I spent 5 hours tattooing 60-plus-year-old people.
No
and
way,
I figured that
really?
everyone would get tattoos.
Wow. The Bowls Club goes off for tattoos.
But what did they get?
So cool.
Oh, we got some Bowls tattoos. We got some just generic
How old's
stuff.
that bloke that we did this
Paulie Russell, one of our members, he's 70 plus. He's a millionaire, they see me rolling. We then had to explain to him that was not the lyrics to Rawhide. But you know what, now he's one of Wayne's favourite dudes to tattoo now, and he goes, if he wants a tattoo, he fucking gets it.
Awesome. Which Bowls Club is this?
North Perth Bowls Club, best bowls club in WA.
We're going to have to go there.
We're going to have to check that one out.
We do it for charity each year. It's a tax-deductible tattoo, man.
Yeah, mate. Charitable donation for so last year we did it for Perth Children's Hospital. And between Wayne and selling beers, we raised almost $40,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. You're doing awesome work and doing it for a good cause as well.
Yeah, can't go.
So yeah, I should just quickly mention, I'm not sure if we showed the lead into that, but Amos wanted to show us probably one of the weirdest tattoos he's ever got.
What was it? Number one dad bod, I believe.
Number one dad bod in the location of the tramp stamp. So, and a big sort of trophy cup. So you would have seen that in the interview anyway.
100%.
But yeah, hilarious.
Show the people the tattoo you've just had done, Amos.
So this is the one we just done.
Beautiful. A little A&T with a beer can for Beer Fest. Beautiful. And now show us the one that turned out a little bit too big. Number one dad bod. Beautiful with the trophy. The tramp stamp and all.
It's gotta be, mate. It's gotta be.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much, man.
Cheers to your time, guys. It was an absolute pleasure.
One of the people that we were lucky enough to pull aside, I feel like I'm getting lots of shadows on my face, but it's weird if I sit there looking.
So
like
makeup.
this. Makeup. Hello, staging.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were lucky enough to talk to Jason from
Justin.
Damn it.
It's fine, just keep it in. Keep it calm.
I've already done enough mistakes in this bloody podcast. We'll keep rolling. Justin from End of Fashion, I should have definitely known that because I've edited things into this already. But yeah, he was really cool that he stopped and took the time to chat with us and stuff. It was during this interview with Justin that I realised that we were asking a lot of the musicians the same generic questions, like where have you been, what have you been doing, what's next for you, yeah, what are your influences and stuff like that. And I feel like Justin just, he had more depth and personality than that, and I feel like we didn't really scratch the surface of who he was and stuff, you know, but still like a really cool guy. And yeah, we'll let you check out the interview. and go from there. And I'll talk about it more when we get back.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well played.
And we have now managed to wrangle the headlining act for the day session for Saturday at Beerfest Frio, Justin from End of Fashion. How you doing, mate?
I am very well. Oh yeah, we've got him.
Yeah, we got him. We get all the good acts, you know.
Punny stuff.
Yeah, so you've just wrapped up your set for the day. How'd it go?
I think it went well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of up to the crowd to decide, but they seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I did. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Enjoy.
There was definitely good energy out there in the crowd, you know. I feel like they really appreciated it. So.
Yeah, lots of smiles. There's a big smiley happy beer can out there at one point.
Yeah, right, nice. Beautiful. Have you played many beer fests?
I don't know.
That's that's not a confirmation one way or the other. He might have been there, he just can't remember.
We've definitely played one.
I have seen Justin play solo gig at an Oktoberfest.
Oh, right. So plenty of festies.
All the single ladies.
Oh, really?
And for all the single ladies.
Very good.
Yes.
No. Oh, absolutely.
I've been asking every musical artist what the influences are. So
what sort of
things are
your influences that help create that sort of end of fashion sound?
Yeah, that's a good question. I look like a little bit of everything.
No, that's a cheat. That's a cheat answer, man.
It's kind of true.
Like, when you put on a Spotify playlist, what's the first song you're looking for?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Whoa, dude, I mean, doesn't it completely depend on what mood you're in?
He's avoiding
he'd be a good politician.
I'm trying to think, actually, like, we've got a new song that we released, actually, but it's going to be on the new album. It's called Wake Up. And that was really heavily influenced by a local band called King Ibis, who are now actually supporting Coldplay, I think.
Yeah, right.
Tonight, is it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about if they're supporting tonight, but Coldplay
playing tonight. So I'm big fans of those guys. They're good friends of ours. But there was something just about the way that they wrote songs that sort of inspired me to write that song. So, you know, the influences come from all over the place.
I'm going to throw it back to then 2005. What was the vibe? What was heading towards you guys doing very well with what was happening?
I think for me it was always just like it was always in service of the song. It was like, make sure you write a good song.
I want to hear an artist. I know this is a good answer.
Like, you know, I guess like all of those classic songwriters that wrote like that were really well. I mean, like we used to get called the heavy metal Beatles, which I didn't mind. I mean,
I like that.
Like
that's cool.
There's hardly, you know, you can't really state a better bunch of songwriters than those guys. But you know, your Bowies and stuff.
Recently.
And there was always like, but then you know, there was sort of more indie stuff. Tegan and Sarah used to be a bit of influence around then. Oh my gosh, I couldn't even remember how many, you know. UMI, I think, was a big influence on us at the start. And
Aussie band.
Yep. Yeah. And how do you rate some of the new bands coming out in Perth and stuff like that, and in the local sort of emerging sort of thing? Is there anyone that we should keep our eye out for?
Well, King Ibis, obviously. There was a band I happened to catch maybe about a year ago called Spicy Water.
Right.
And she's a really good songwriter, got a great voice. Yeah. And I see them sort of floating around doing some stuff. And
So that was the interview with Justin from End of Fashion. As you can see, like, cool guy. I probably could have talked to him for ages and stuff, you know, but didn't really ask him any hard-hitting questions.
I don't think, like, we didn't really have, like, these were, like, short and sharp sort of, like, interviews were, like, guerrilla style. We just had to get in there.
Yeah, they'd literally just come off their set sort of thing, and we pulled them aside, like, have a chat.
Yeah, so... Yeah, it's always time.
It is what it is.
And every single guest is always welcome back, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'd love to catch up with Justin again and ask him some of those questions that we didn't get to ask him at the time.
Being that he's a Perth musician and like experiencing success, definitely here on the list of my braces at the moment. You know, within the Australian music scene, there would be definitely some stories. There'd probably even be some stuff there are so many S's in what I'm talking about right now. Some stuff that should probably not be spoken about, but I would still like to hear S's. Yeah. But anyways, let's go to the next interview. Who we got?
The next interview was Sash Seabourne.
I'm definitely not saying that because there's way too many S's.
Too many S's in there for you. So yeah, had a good chat with him, and it was during that interview we asked him some of the generic questions again. Like he was actually on Idol. We asked him how's Idol for you, what are you doing next, what's it been like touring and stuff like that. But started hitting him with some other questions just to find out a little bit more. So we'll let you check that out now. Bam.
And we have been lucky enough to put aside Sash Seabourne, who has just wrapped up your set on stage at Beer Fest. How you doing, mate?
Doing well, man. Stoked to be here.
Yeah, you played a great set. What was it like being up on stage at Beer Fest?
Good, man. I just flew in from Melbourne this morning, so I'm running on like not very much sleep, but it's nice to be back in the sunshine and back in Freo.
Life of a rock star. Good effort, mate. I know you were on Australian Idol a little bit earlier this year.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that journey and how that worked out for you.
It was fun, man. I was really grateful to be on it. So it's a great platform to like give your career a boost and connected with a lot of people around the country. So
great networking opportunities as well. Yeah,
absolutely. And felt grateful to make the top 10. So made the finals of the show and was happy with the result.
Top 10, man. That's cool.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was one of the craziest things that ever happened to me. But it's been
representation of WA hitting the top 10.
Yeah, I think it was the best WA representation in a few years. It was like 3 WA in the top 12. So all really good singers. Phoebe Stewart in Bustleton and this girl named Sarah as well. And we're also close mates. So WA pride.
Yeah, cool, man. Representing strong.
That's right.
Of course, you don't just rock up on Idol and play the way you did. There's obviously a bit of music background. How did your journey start?
Yeah, man. I grew up in Margaret River down south, and
goes hand in hand. Musician Margaret River.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just cut my teeth, like touring around and playing different venues, and started writing songs. I was about 18, and just went solo and started doing this project only about 2 years ago. But it's been a great platform, and playing by myself has got me touring a lot, and it's been a busy year for me.
Just how do you sort of finally decide on that's your sound? Like just playing a solo gig, you just sort of pared back, just use sort of stomp box guitar, couple of bits going on. How do you sort of settle on that as your sound and your sort of brand that you want to put out?
Yeah, I always used to play in bands. I used to play in like a punk band. I played drums in a rock band.
Talking my language here.
Yeah.
More about that.
Just did all sorts of different music growing up, and you walk through the door that's open, I think, in your career. And I put some acoustic songs out solo and got a good reception, and so that's been the thing that's just got me working and touring around the country. So grateful to be doing that.
Well, I got to rewind this back.
Yeah.
So you said punk and stuff like that. So do you still listen to any of that? Or what artists?
All the time. I still love my hardcore. Like when I go out to the gym or something, it's always
this guy.
He's
my guy.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I just played in a band called Dead Sea and played with like Savior.
Dude, I know Dead Sea.
Yeah, I just play guitar in Dead Sea.
Really?
Pretty wild,
Yeah, sweet, man.
Very different style of music.
So how do you cut your teeth? Is it busking? Is it finding gigs or?
Yeah, I think WA is a great state to be a road dog. Like we've got all the Southwest and then Exmouth, and there's a bunch of great towns that love their music. So I've spent the last few years just traveling.
They're pretty hungry for it up in those places because they don't get shows.
And they really appreciate music when it comes out there. So I've done it the grassroots way and built a fan base one show at a time, and really grateful to have like a good following in the Southwest and up in Exie as well. So just love getting out on the road and traveling, like a bit of a road dog.
I got to ask, so Margaret River, do you surf as well then?
Yeah.
Yes, sick. So have you planned your tours around surfing?
I definitely do.
This is the dream, right?
Living the dream.
And also when you're in a smaller band, you can just go, you know what, this is me.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. We just did a month in Exmouth in July, like right through the middle of the season, and just like waves every day. So they're a pretty good lifestyle. Line them up. Yeah.
And you're saying that you've been in bands, now you're solo, and you love being on the road. Is there much of an entourage you have to take with you being a solo gig compared to being in a band?
Usually I just take another solo artist, so it's like 2 crew, like a bit of a best mate. Someone plays music and it's just like 2 or 3 crew in a van, and like it's so portable. It allows you to like tour a lot more viably and get out on the road a lot more. So I do miss like that feeling of like walking off stage on a great show and like congratulating each other when you're in a band. The camaraderie. I do kind of miss that, but like we make up for it by like bringing photographers out or bringing other talented folks that I like to work with. So it doesn't usually feel very lonely.
Just surrounding yourself with like-minded people and creatives and stuff.
Are you adverse to a band ever again, or?
I think I would love to do a band in the future, but I'm kind of, my belief system's around being a working muso. Like, I think if you want to play music for a living and do your gigs and release your records and do it right on streaming, like, I believe that it's an okay thing to want to be a full-time muso, and I'm proud to be full-time, but I'll have a band again when I can afford it, you know.
And people can follow you and find out about all this information.
I feel like we're getting to the end of this, but I have to ask something very important. I've got a major question. What's his hair routine? I'm a long hair enthusiast.
But this is actually really quite impressive.
I had mine cut, okay?
I've had long hair before. I know it doesn't get like this without you putting some effort into it.
This is probably the dumbest question, but I have to ask.
No, but also on tour, you don't always get the facilities that you might need. How do you keep in such good condition on tour?
Well, I used to be like not that good at it, but I did the whole Australian Idol thing, and they have like hair and makeup and people. And they hooked me up with this like anti-frizz spray.
Oh, I do.
And it just kind of like gets your hair all like finished.
Endorsement.
Fucking hit me up. And
beautiful.
So just a bit of anti-frizz in the hair on a hot day, and you're all good. Yeah,
dude, I'm definitely taking that on board.
That's my tip.
Nice. And just a couple of quick questions so people can get to know a little bit more about Sash Seabourne. Do you have pineapple on pizza?
I'm into it.
Yeah?
I don't discriminate.
And when you put on your socks and shoes, do you go sock, shoe, or sock, shoe, shoe?
Sock, shoe, shoe.
So get both of your socks firmly established and then shoe.
What crazy person puts on a sock and a shoe?
Sometimes you might decide that you are... Every now and then, I like to mix it up.
You're a lunatic.
Anyway, Sash Seabourne, thanks heaps for
socials. Shout out his shows.
Yeah, of course your socials. I was just about to say that. Keep up on the socials. I have seen that on Spotify you're actually under just Sash Seabourne.
That's my artist name, so it's just Sash Seabourne at the moment. But you can follow me on Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, all that stuff. Yeah, just at Sash Seabourne.
And so they get you on Instagram, they'll keep up with all your tour dates and stuff like that, and find out where to see you play live.
Yes, sir.
Hair routines.
And hair routines.
Hit me up for that anti-frizz.
And hair tips and stuff. Beautiful. Thanks heaps for taking the time to have a chat, mate. You're an absolute legend.
So you actually recently went and saw him in Rockingham here at a new venue that it's recently
I did. Sash recently played at Encore above AVA4Y here in Rockingham. It's a new live entertainment venue. So they have comedians Wednesdays nights. They're doing a bit of an R&B thing on Thursdays, I think, and they also have a lot of live bands and mixing up a bit. It's good to see sort of live gigs and live entertainment and stuff. And they did that downstairs at AVA4Y. They would have a lot of live bands in there. But to be able to mix it up with the variety of bands and stuff and get some comedians and stuff, seen some really good things up at Encore. So just a little shout out for you there because I'm enjoying it so much. But actually some of the comedians that we've spoken to, I actually seen Andrew Wolfe there last Wednesday, just gone, done a really good set. Seen a few there. Grant Mush, who you've seen at Fringe.
Did see him at Fringe,
seen a few good comedians there, and look forward to tracking them down.
Formerly The Vibe. So if you're if you want to know a little bit of history of Rockingham, so actually I think before
and the Equators.
Was it called? I thought it was called the Wave Bar.
The Wave Bar, yeah.
So there's a little bit of Rockingham history. So what was actually quite interesting about this place? So it's the Rockingham Foreshore. So if you've ever been down here, I think we have really nice beaches. Although the Rockingham Foreshore, did get a little bit dingy. But the most interesting thing was underneath was the strippers. Up the top,
Zelda's
was a nightclub. And somebody once said to me, it's like the first thing when you go into Rockingham, you see Zelda's strip club, Vibe nightclub, and they're like,
"Welcome to Rockingham."
Oh, okay, definitely know where I am.
It's interesting. I mean, Rockingham gets a bit of a bad name for itself. I like Rockingham, the place where you can get all your meth and melanomas in one place.
That's true. But you're not even a native to Rockingham, are you?
I'm not far from it. I've come from south of the river, Vic Park and stuff. Moved down here in '99 and been here since. So
it's not native, people.
Whatever.
You got to be born here.
Wait, Rockingham's lucky to have me.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it.
Probably. Yeah. Does do a lot of the renovations around town.
Yeah, you might have seen me getting around.
Tyler and Mason.
Swinging hammers.
Get that onto your next.
Tyler and Mason, no wall too tall or floor too small, so give them a call today. And remember, Tyler and Mason, we're not the best, but we're really expensive. I just feel like that sets reasonable expectations, you know? Mm-hmm.
Anyways, back to topic.
Our next interview, we were lucky to catch up with, and you would have seen them setting up for their set or finishing their set in the back of the interview with Justin from End of Fashion and I think Sash Seabourne as well. Was Joan and the Giants. We managed to have, and this was actually a hilarious interview. Had a really good time chatting with these guys. Again,
they were very up for fun, weren't they?
Yeah, really fun crew. They had just finished their set and stuff. Really appreciate them taking the time. Again, the audio in the background, because there was another band that was just kicking off. We had one mic between 6 people at the time, so the audio is not great. And
probably, I think by this point we were nursing hangovers, and probably you were definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely a good effort.
Definitely a few brews in by this point too.
Yeah, no, good effort. But also, I must admit that when we done this interview, I was of the impression that Joan and the Giants was actually like Joan and the Giants.
I'm laughing like
bit of an idiot. Yeah. It's actually Gracie from Joan and the Giants. Joan is not Joan, it's Grace.
Yeah.
So I've got to put my hand up for that. You've got to win your successes and your failures. Unfortunately, bit of an idiot. Anyway, check it out.
Alright, and we've just managed to pull aside Joan and the Giants that have just wrapped up their gig at Beer Fest. How's it going, guys?
So good! So hot, it's so good.
Yeah, melting out there. Honestly, you've done amazing playing in this heat today, and you look great doing it too, you know? Let's quickly go, because obviously it's Joan and the Giants, but the Giants have names as well. Can we quickly just find out? Introduce yourselves and what you do.
So I'm Riley, I'm the drummer. Yeah, so I'm talking to
You talk.
There you go.
Yeah, it picks up everything. My name's Liam, and I'm the bassist.
Yep. And I'm Aaron. I play guitar.
Aaron on guitar.
Aaron, I don't know if he sold that good enough.
No, none of it's really guitar.
You can be a little bit more excited now. Aaron, I play guitar.
I'm Slash, and I play guitar. No, I'm Aaron.
If he has a top hat, he can
get away with it. Absolutely. So how did you guys come together?
We came together, so Aaron and I met like 9 years ago, started playing music together, and then we met these guys like 7 years ago, and they became our little family. And we've just been playing together for like last 6 or 7 years, and just grinding, and just having a lot of fun.
Yes, some festivals on the eastern states as well, and a bit of touring.
We did it to this year. We did Big Sound Festival as well, and we're starting to do a lot more shows over there as well, which is exciting. It's taken a bit. It's very expensive to get over there, but
right now flights are ridiculous. Qantas, pick up your game.
Seriously though.
Well, actually, I have to interject, and I'm going to complain. They dropped down their flight rewards thing to like, used to be able to get like, I've got 200,000 flight points.
Yep.
And they're worth $200.
What? No way!
Yep. So Qantas.
Fuck you, Qantas. That is cool.
Also sponsor us.
If you want to try money, you're earning so much more. Anyway, sorry. You can probably edit that part out.
So as you can see, we did not edit that part out. How do you feel about your comments about Qantas now?
I'd like to say thank you very much, Qantas. I didn't recently fly with you, and I have a very nice, enjoyable flight. Thank you, Qantas.
Whatever. I'll stand by the comments.
Actually, I'm gonna get on another rant here. So,
love a good rant.
The first flight to Qantas to Singapore that I recently did was bloody terrible. It was messy.
Who was it with?
Qantas.
Oh.
Yeah. So like, it was dirty.
Yeah.
And the flight staff were rude. But
look out.
On the way back, opposite.
Oh, really?
Lovely staff. Fine plane.
What?
Oh, and they also stuffed up on meals because, like, my partner's celiac.
I wonder if it's just a coincidence, or
did they know? They knew, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did you show them?
It's all a conspiracy, bro. I've been working against you this entire time.
Yeah. Anyways, Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, yeah, we did not edit that bit out. We left it in.
Yeah.
Moving on, again, the audio in the background was bad, but we did get to ask them some hilarious questions that we got to have a good time with. So check it out. Again, we apologise for the bad audio. This is definitely one of the bands I'd love to catch up with again and have a chat with. Get
them to play
actual
Encore.
Garden Bar.
Yeah.
Encore doesn't have a Garden Bar, bro.
Yeah, but then,
I do like it.
Then we can just walk home.
It is very local. I do
Yeah.
like the fact that it's local.
Yeah.
And Gracie actually played there a couple of weeks ago. It was just her doing a solo gig.
Did you go?
No, I missed it.
Okay.
I was Devo. It actually hurt my heart a little bit that I missed that gig.
I noticed he's talking about all his shows, but I wasn't actually invited to one of them.
I didn't go. You can't have a go at me for not inviting you to a show I didn't go to.
Whatever.
I've done a couple of comedy nights. You're hard man to pin down. You're a jet setter. You've been to Japan, Singapore,
Yes.
COVID.
Oh, fuck. We're going to talk about it do we talk about it now?
We're actually in the middle of an interview. Let's quickly go to the end of the interview with Joan and the Giant, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about how Breno has been quite the jet setter lately. Catching himself a bit of COVID because you get what you deserve.
Just a couple of random questions so people can learn a little bit more about Joan and the Giants. Do you keep tomato sauce in the fridge or the pantry?
Pantry.
Right.
I know this question wasn't directed to me, but
It says it on the
fridge.
It says it on the bottle.
Oh,
Man, it says it on the bottle. I'd be surprised if they checked the pantry. So what was it, 3-1?
No, I prefer keep it in the pantry.
So two in the pantry.
Two. That's a great pantry.
I'll see the pantry when it's unopened. When you haven't opened it yet, yes, pantry. When it's opened, immediately fridge.
Yes. Have food. Why would you put cold sauce on it? That's stupid.
That's straight to the argument. Every person.
I'm going to their apartment right now.
So I was putting it in the fridge.
You're actually going to break up bad with this one.
You don't put hot sauce on ice cream. Every single time I come to the apartment,
Oh, you do though. Hot sauce on ice cream is delicious.
don't ruin my point. We're on the same team.
That's true.
One more question was just if you had a choice between diving the deepest depths of the ocean or flying the highest heights within the atmosphere of Earth, not outer space, which one would you choose?
Flying.
Flying?
Yeah, okay, that's honestly, fuck the ocean.
I was ocean. Yeah, I go ocean.
I mean, when you're in the ocean, you can see what, like 15 meters in front of you? That's it? And you don't even know how far you are down.
Specify.
You don't even know.
He did not specify, like, maybe you were Superman and you had those sort of, with your normal capabilities of visual stuff that you could point to. Nah, well, fuck his all.
What if you see like the Meg and suddenly it's like I'm dead?
There's a lot more stuff down there. Kill you too, punishment.
Make 2 is even more fantastic.
There's not one, there's 2.
I've got a running gag where it's the entire movie is just him saying things dramatically. So it's just statements. It's just him being like, there's a bench over there. We can't do this now. It's just like him just directing at the fucking camera. It's the greatest thing in the world. It's just him just saying shit. He's like, oh, we're having a, we've got a problem we've got to solve. We're going to go through this. Anyway, what's over there? What is wrong, Jason? Like, the whole fucking movie.
Did you make that up?
I have coined that. It's not that funny, but I have coined it.
Comedy stage over there.
Comedy stage. Yeah, there it is. Until Thursday.
Where can people keep up with everything Joan and the Giants?
Social media, Joan and the Giants.
Yeah, MySpace, bro.
And our website and like our whatever.
Beautiful. Excellent. So there is stuff coming up 2 days, but you're keeping it under wraps at the moment. But if they follow you on the socials, I'm sure they're going to find out all about that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thanks so much for stopping over chatting with the science. Cheers, guys. Fucking yeah, so that was Joan and the Giant. Hilarious there about the bloody sauce in the pantry or the fridge.
We did divide the band.
We almost started a bit of a rift in Joan and the Giants there.
We have. Actually, it's this topic related to my jet setting around or whatever. They were talking about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift was the reason.
Oh yeah, we did actually. Yeah. I think that got edited out because the audio was trash. But yeah.
Oh, that was okay. Well, I'll bring up a point. There was another thing that was contention of the band. 2 were for, 2 were weren't, and I don't know. Where were you? Are you a Taylor or no?
A Taylor Swift.
Are you a Swiftie or a Nifty?
No, not a Taylor Swift.
Oh, so actually it was I think we were more in favour of not liking it. But anyways, yeah. So that was the reason.
I mean, I respect her hustle. She works hard for her money,
mate.
But she's not in high rotation on my playlist. 100%. She's not on my playlist at all.
Not on mine.
You know?
Yeah. So my partner was like, "Do you want to go to Singapore?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I'm going for Taylor Swift," and I'm like, "No,
no way."
Yeah. So anyway, she went to Taylor Swift.
That's hilarious. Oh,
I didn't have to go. No, man. Do you know how expensive those tickets are?
Wow.
No, we went to Sum 41 the night after, so that was cool. Yeah. Anyways,
hilarious.
I digress.
And let's get back to your jet scene. You've been to Singapore. You just mentioned. You've been to Japan about a month ago. What was that little vacay about?
Did I just get back from Singapore? Yeah.
Get back from Singapore.
Yeah, just a couple of days.
Yeah, you're in Japan a while ago.
Yeah, so I was in Japan, like 3 weeks before that, or 4 weeks before that. Yeah. And then, so then I came back and I had COVID.
You got yourself a little bit of Rona on the way home.
Yeah, and that's what sort of has led to the delays. So, like, we started this back, what was it, October or November or whatever?
November was Beer Fest. We filmed all of this.
And then you, like, that was just a bad sort of timing because we went into Christmas, you got overloaded with work,
and to be honest,
I wasn't even in the country.
I thought when we were filming this, it was going to be the editing was going to be a real simple process of just like stitch it together and send it out, basically.
Yeah,
that just shows how naive I was about the editing process.
Yeah, but that's just another learning thing where I guess like you'll know what you want from this point forward, right? Or maybe. But yeah, so that sort of has pushed like product delays. There we go. Let's push this back about.
Sure, we'll chuck that in the excuse pile as well.
And plus, we're fucking lazy. So
and procrastinative. I think that's a word.
Or maybe we're perfectionists.
Do you know squoze is a word?
What?
Like as the past tense of squeeze, squoze, and snows, as in like I sneezed, I snows. It's the past tense of sneeze.
I'm not going to attempt saying them.
No?
The S's.
Oh, the S's? Yeah, no, but it's definitely a thing, because if you have, like, if you freeze water and it's froze, then why, if you've just sneezed, you've just snows? Yeah, you can look it up. I've actually had a few debates with people about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
There we go. See, this is another reason you should tune in, because you're going to get the most interesting facts. And also, you never know when this could be.
It is one of the most irrelevant facts, but I challenge somebody to work either snows or squoze into general conversation and let me know if it gets by, or
and you will win
if you get pulled up and go into a debate.
Well, now it's just two. There's 2 cans of Billy Stitch gin tins.
We will send that out to you directly, unless you live too far away, and I probably won't. And
you
can just pretend that someone else.
You can just pick it up because we're way too lazy for that. Anyways,
so
who have we got? Who have we got?
Well, first, I mean, we're meant to do that whole cliche thing where you like YouTubers say, if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.
Which you'll find here. I think the ding things down there. Dude, I'm always like...
Don't let nobody tell you what to do. You just do what you want to do. And if you happen to like the content, then there is a little button you can press that will signify that you've enjoyed it. But if not, don't fucking worry about it, man, eh?
The fact that you even watched this and made it this far.
I got this far into it.
Thank you.
Hats off. If I was wearing a hat right now, I would have taken it off.
Salute you.
Salute there.
That's it.
But yeah, anyway, sure, salute.
There you go. You can use that in. I was going to say.
But I just dropped squoze and snows on you. Nothing but salute. You're going to hit me with like, is that a word? Far out. Lucky we're not playing Scrabble right now. We'd be reaching for dictionaries.
That's the game I wanted to say, but Scrabble. Anyways,
oh man.
Yeah. So if you're into Scrabble, tune in weekly.
Anyway, our final interview, great Gable. And the greatness of the Gable. Again, really appreciate them taking the time. This was the final headline act for Beer Fest 2023. They had just wrapped up their gig. And again, through, I don't know if it was technical error or human error, the microphone wasn't even turned on for this one. So you can pick up a little bit of audio from the microphone attached to the camera, but for some reason the roaming mic that Breno was holding was not even switched on. So completely pointless ornament.
Just prop. Yeah,
just basically a prop that was in the interview. So again, we got a couple of sentences that you can make out. Apologise for the human/technical error. Again, we'd love to catch up with Great Gable
100%.
at a later date and in a format more like this where we can sit down and have a good chat to him. I mean, there was Bernard Fanning playing in the background of most of this interview, which you can hear better than us talking because
not
that's
Bernard Fanning the person, just one of his tracks.
Yeah. No, it wasn't actually.
I was going to say, was he?
It was just the music they had put on over the loudspeakers as they were basically ushering everybody out of the festival because Great Gable had finished. That was the final act, and they were wrapping up. So yeah, not great. Don't get confused with the track playing in the background and Great Gable. That's not them. Their music in the background.
Hopefully we don't
they
get
just
flagged.
finished playing an amazing set.
Hopefully we don't get flagged for copyright of music then.
Right.
No, I think live, when music's live, I think it's different.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because, like, you know how people
But
post...
it was a recording of Bernard Fanning that they were playing over loudspeakers, so it was...
Put it down in the comment section if you actually know the truth.
Yeah, let us know all about it, and we will totally get back to you ASAP.
We will.
So yeah, we only got a little bit of the Great Gable interview that we were able to show you. Again, we spoke to them for a little bit and then asked them a couple of interesting questions. So I think we only got one of the interesting questions. But anyway, here it is. We'll show you what we got.
Anyway, this is Great Gable. For those who don't know, let's go through.
I'm Maddie. I play
Anyways, back to you. These guys have just wrapped up the headline set for the Beer Fest 2023, last set on the Sunday.
It's Sunday, so what else are you doing?
Yeah, no, great place to wrap up with hangover stuff.
Well, it's also very sensible with going with that. We don't drink it. We've been touring hard, we've been shows, and every now and then you just take one step too far. Or five steps too far.
Hey, if it's a good show, it's a good show, you know, you want to have a good show, it's a good show. That's right. And how did Great Gable come together and form the agreement?
Matt and I met in school playing cricket as 14-year-olds. Chris was made of that dude.
I mean, look at him, this is straight off the assembly line.
And Maddie's the latest addition, aren't you? Like,
it's my first job.
Like, I did want to ask, like, if you had to choose between wearing a necktie every day for the rest of your life or wearing a pair of flip-flops or tongs every day for the rest of your life, which one are you going to go for? Super boring or super relaxed?
Well, you got to ask the location where we live.
No, it doesn't matter. It's got to be something that you're going to wear in any location. You're going to wear a necktie there or you're going to wear flip-flops there. You're either super casual or
what if
super...
you're like Greenland or something? It's just like freezing. Are you
I
going to
know.
want a necktie?
Yeah, but that's where you've got to make the right decision.
Like necktie.
You're going with necktie. Necktie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go necktie.
Compared to cold weather? Yeah. Flip-flops, nice and casual. Oh, dude, to fight Dan to fighter. Yeah, love it. Love it. Actually, good kid. What would be your choice? Probably flip-flops. Here in Australia. I'm not a tie man. Cut me off. This is hard for me. I haven't worn flip-flops in years. I'm all about Birkenstocks. Oh, so you're... Oh, Birkenstocks, man. You can wear a tie with Birkenstocks. Yeah. So, but yeah, do that. So, I don't know, maybe... Coffee and necktie. I reckon that's definitely a necktie.
Cool. So, yeah, like I said, that was Great Gable. The audio was not just bad, it was mostly non-existent. So...
The running theme.
Yeah, the running theme of this entire first podcast. But, of course, we are going to be tracking down everyone that we've featured on this podcast, especially Raunchy Brewing Co. and Billy Stitch Distilleries. And all the amazing band and comedians that we managed to have a chat to, and we want to be able to do this again in a different format where we can sit down and have a much better conversation with you and basically show the podcast we originally intended to create.
Yeah, because this wasn't the original idea. But does anything anything with an idea, it's just thrown into something and whatever comes out, right?
You can't be too rigid with things, You got to go with the flow sometimes.
Yeah. And I think, I guess if you, try everything, something might work.
Yeah.
So
it's almost like life is a river that you're on, and you're going downstream whether you like it or not, and all you can really do is try and steer a little bit, speed up maybe, or try and pull back if you see danger. But either way, you still,
basically,
the only way out is forward. So
that could be summed up to go with the flow.
Yeah, go with the flow. And that's what we did, and this is how it ended up. So you can basically take this and judge for yourself whether or not it was good to go with the flow. But definitely enjoyed it. Definitely like to do it again. Huge shout out to James and the organisers of Beer Fest for allowing us to do this.
We'll have them scrolling up. There's too many S's.
Credits? Too many S's for you, right?
Credits. We'll have that there. Everybody, thank you to all these people that are going up.
It's been amazing. We look forward to doing this again. I'm sure it won't be long until we get to our next venue, make a proper Garden Bar podcast and get that to you, and hopefully with better lighting, because I feel like I've been like that most of the time, and almost like, what was it, the cover of that album with Queen or something?
Oh, yeah.
And they're all in the shadows. Yeah. Anyway, better lighting,
mysterious.
better audio. I'm not going to say better guests, because we had some amazing guests for our first podcast. Really grateful to everybody that stopped to take the time.
Maybe better hosts.
Take the time to talk to us. Better hosts? Come on, man.
No.
You could definitely get better hosts, but you get what you deserve. I'm not even sure who I directed that at. Thanks for taking the time.
If you've made it this far.
Much love, eh? Yeah, go on. Get out of here, you scallywags.